Hello everyone, welcome back to Civil Brains YouTube channel. So in this lecture, we will try to understand the drawings that is given in your structural drawings, the general notes, and we'll try to understand that. Before this, I have made a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. Like, see, this is already a technical series 2. Then I've explained technical series 1. This one is technical series 3. Try to watch the other lectures as well so that you get a good knowledge. Okay. Yeah. So see, these are the drawings that you get once you start to work on the construction field. These are the drawings that you're going to get. So we'll try to decode all these drawings and try to understand the meaning of all these things. So in the last two lectures, I have tried to, teach you the few of the points from this. So I'll start from where I had left. So here they have written one point. Overlap in column is to be provided at the mid height of the column, which staggered in main bar. So what is the meaning of this? We'll try to understand. So whenever you are lapping the bar in the column, right, you have to do the lapping at the center. So what is the meaning of it? We'll try to see that. I'll just show you one practical image so that it is easy for you to understand. Yeah, so you can see here, right? So this is a column and this is a footing. So what does it mean? So whenever you're doing a lapping, see, I have done a lapping here. Okay. So this is a lapping. So whenever you're doing a lapping, the lapping has to be exactly at the center of the column. Okay. If this and this are the floor to floor height, exactly at the center, I'm supposed to do the lapping. So that is the meaning of that particular point. Same thing if you see here they have not done it correctly because okay, this is the bottom of your PCC. Let's say if your plinth beam will come somewhere here. So exactly at the center, I should have done the lapping here. Okay. So that is the thing what they have mentioned it here. So what is the reason behind that? The reason is very simple. Usually if this is a column, okay, if this is a column, what happens is if I ask you to draw the bending moment diagram of this, so this will be maximum. Again, it will come like this. It will go like this. So your bending moment diagram will be something like this. So if you see exactly at the center, that is a point where you have minimum bending moment. And whenever you do the lapping, it becomes a weak joint. Since lapping is a weak joint, uh, we recommend you to do a lapping in that particular area where the stresses are less, where the bending moments are less. So if you see at the center, your bending moment is less, right? That is why we do a lapping here. Okay, that is the main reason for that. That is why they write it here. Overlap in column is to be provided the mid height of the column with a staggered in main bar. Staggered means if you have 10 bars, 5 bar you are supposed to lap at one point. Another 5 bar you can lap it at a distance of 300 mm from there. Okay, for example, let's say if this is a column, this is my center height, right? So what I'll do, I'll bring a bar from here. I'll bring a bar from here and I'll stop it here and I'll do a lapping like this. Okay, understood? No. So 4 bar I'll lap at this section. If I have 8 bar, 4 bar I'll lap it at this section. Another 4 bar, what I'll do a staggered lapping. Staggered lapping means from here, I'll not lap here. Again, from here, I'll leave a distance like this. Okay. I'll go up to here. I'll bring a bar from here again, and I do a lapping like this. Got it? No. So this is called a staggered lapping. So from the top of this to here, minimum 300 mm distance I have to leave. Minimum 300 mm distance I have to leave from the lap of this point to, from this lap point to this lap point. Okay. That is the meaning of it. Again, why it has to be done like that? Again, lapping itself is a weak. So if you do all the lapping at one portion, again, it becomes a weak joint. So I want to avoid that. So that is why they write staggered lapping here. Next is overlap in the top beam bar is to be provided near to the midspan in the staggered manner, and overlap in the bottom beam bar to be provided near the support in a staggered manner. So this is for the beams. So if you see here, let's say it's a continuous beam which is running here. Okay. Whatever lapping they have done it here, it is wrong. Again, it's a local construction. People don't have a knowledge about all these things. In my courses, I teach you all these things, where the lapping should be done. What is the reason behind that? How an entire building has to be executed from start to the end. All these things are the all these things I teach in my courses. So if you're really interested to learn all these things, you can download my Civil Brains app. And I've given a lot of good courses here. And I've given you one free course also. You can enroll in my free course. Try to see how much I teach. Try to see what you're able to understand. If you feel my content is good, definitely enroll in my Construction Manager Mastery course. We have some 15-20% discount on the courses. And more than 636 students have enrolled in these courses. And you can see the entire content here. My courses are available in both Hindi and English language. Whichever language you're comfortable, I'll teach you the entire site execution, estimation, drawing, reading, BBS, BOQ, project planning. Everything is taught in this particular lectures. Just download it and enroll in the course so that you can upgrade your knowledge. Yeah. Yeah. Coming back to this. So coming to the beam portion. So again, if I ask you to draw the bending moment diagram of this, see, for the beam, this is a negative bending moment near the support. At the center, it will be a sagging bending moment. Then again, it will be a negative bending moment. Since it's a continuous, I'll show you like this. Okay, this is a typical bending moment diagram of your beam. So I have a negative bending moment here. I have a positive bending moment here. I have a negative bending moment here. Then again, positive and negative. So wherever your bending moment is maximum, there you should not do the lapping. This is a concept, irrespective of your structure element. In the column also, I told you the same thing. Beam also, wherever the bending moment is maximum, there you should not do the lapping. Now in beam, we have two bars. One is at the top, one is at the bottom. Now at the top, you tell me where your bending moment is maximum. Yes, bending moment is maximum near the support. This is my support. Okay, somewhere up to here it is maximum. I'll draw it in this color. Yeah. So my bending moment is maximum somewhere here. Okay. And also if you see here, my bending moment is maximum somewhere here. At this up to this portion, my bending moment is maximum. So what I'll do, since my bending moment is maximum near the support, for the top bar, I'll do the lapping at the center. For the top bar, I'll do the lapping at the center. So what I'll do, I'll bring a bar. I'll not stop here. I'll stop somewhere at the center. That's fine. And from here, I'll do a lapping like this and I'll take the bar like this. This is fine because at center your bending moment itself is very less, right? So that is why what I'll do is, because your positive bending moment sagging is coming in the bottom, at the top there is no bending moment, very minimum bending moment is there. So that is why I'll do at the top. Now come to the bottom. So bottom still again, where is your bending moment maximum? Exactly, your bending moment is maximum at the bottom. I mean at the center in the bottom. Since your bending moment is maximum at the center in the bottom, I'll not do the lapping at the bottom. But near the support, this somewhere here and somewhere here, your bending moment is less. So what I can do is I can do the lapping here at the near the support. So what I can do, I can bring my bar like this. Don't stop it here. Don't stop here and do a lapping like this. It won't work out. Okay. So what you're supposed to do is bring a bar and you can do somewhere here. Somewhere here you can do a lapping, and like this you can do a lapping and you can take it like this. Okay. But again, this criteria is applicable only for non-earthquake zones. Okay, when I say not non-earthquake zones, if you're not doing the detailing according to IS 13920 code book, if you're following IS 456 2000 code book, and then this is okay. But if you're following IS 13920 according to the ductile detailing also, you cannot do a lapping near the support. You have to leave a distance of 2D. 2D will not get into that at this stage. Okay, just say if you're doing it for the normal structure near the beam column junction, you can do a lapping, not a problem. That's it. Understood the concept? So that is what they had written it here, that you should do the lapping. See here, top beam bar is to run near to the mid span for the top, and bottom is telling near the support. That's it. Okay, that is the meaning of it. So understood, column you understood, beam you understood. Okay, yeah. So 2 points I have taught you. Apart from that, see, all these things you have to understand. But again, in one lecture I cannot cover everything. But yeah, a few things I'll try to explain you. Okay, yeah. Now coming to this is about the column and a beam junction. That is a development length. So we know what is development length, right? So what is the difference between a development length and a lap length? So this is my column and this is my beam. So what the column does, so what a lapping does, lapping will transfer the stress from one rebar to another rebar. This lapping, what I taught you now, is transferring the stress from one rebar to another rebar. Why it has to transfer? Generally, the bar what is available in the market is a 12-meter bar, which is 40 feet. Suppose if I'm doing a 5-floor or a 6-floor building, one entire bar cannot stand. I require 2-3 bars. So when I bring 2-3 bar, I have to do a lapping. So with the help of lapping, what I'll do, I'll transfer the stress from one rebar to another rebar. So what is development length? So again, in development length, what happens? Say this is my column, and this is my beam. So usually what happens is my beam reinforcement should come and it has to get anchored into the column. This is how it happens. So this is my top bar. Similarly, bottom bar also I'll bring like this and I'll take it like this. Okay. So that a proper fixity is attained here. A proper fixity is attained here. And because of this only you get that negative bending moment. This is why you are getting a negative bending moment. Because of the fixity, you are able to get a negative bending moment. Okay. In the college, you did all these things, right? You gave this fixed support like this. This is your fixed support. Understood? Both are your fixed support. and your professors asked you to draw the bending moment diagram, this is how you drew, right? This is how you did, right? You have got a negative, you got a positive, you got a negative. But on practically on the construction site, how you make this as a fixed support? So you make it as fixed support by giving proper development line. So this is your development line. So this portion, this much portion you can see from the face of the column, that is from here to here. This is your development line. From the face of the column, from here to here, it is a development line, which is denoted as LD. And how much should be LD? Generally, it is 50 times. It depends on grade of your steel, depends on the grade of your concrete, depends on the diameter of the bar. We have a formula for that development line. LD is equal to sigma stress into diameter divided by 4 times the tau BD. We have the formula. So based on the formula, you get an answer. But generally, you can take it as 50 times the diameter of the bar. So that is written here. LD is equal to 50 into main bar dia. For example, if you're using a 12 diameter bar, for example, if you're using a 12 diameter bar, your LD will be 50 into 12, which comes out to be how much? 600 mm. So this length from here to here, this length from here to here has to be how much? 600 mm. That's it. Got it? So understood the concept. Same for this also. This also has to be 600. Again, depends on the diameter of the bar. If both the diameter is 12, then 600 will come. Understood the concept? No. So if you ask me practically, so this is how it looks practically. I don't know. Yeah, I can show it here. Let me show it here practically. Where shall I show you? Okay. Okay. Just a minute. Somewhere here. Can you see this? This one, okay? This is your column and this is a beam junction, this portion. So from here to here, this bend what I have given, no, that is how much? 15 today. In my case, it has to be 600 mm. Got it? This is how we try to do. And because of that only, that bending moment diagram will come because of the fixity. It's going to come like that. Got it? You got an idea like how all these things are done and all. That's it. So these are a few things which I wanted to explain here. Again, there are a lot of things to explain. Whatever I explain is only like 1% of what I teach in my entire course. When you enroll in my entire course, we try to understand all these things. Why this top bar is given, why this bottom curtail is given, why the top extra is given, how to design this, how to do the BBS of it. All these other things, what I teach in my entire course. Only one single course I'm speaking. I have 10 to 12 courses in this bundle. That is complete execution, estimation, drawing, reading, BBS, BOQ, project management, high-rise building construction. Everything I've covered it here. And more than 636 students have enrolled in this particular course. Definitely download it. If you feel the content is good, enroll in the complete course, upgrade your knowledge, and so that you can go and face the interview confidently and you can start working in the good construction companies. And also, coming back to the reviews, I think, yeah. So these are the reviews given by the students. You can check it out. Yeah. These are the students. He was one of my student who enrolled in my construction mastery course. He was a fresher who got job in PSP project for 4.2 lakh. He's another student of mine who was having around 1 year of experience, got a 7 lakh LP in a top MNC company. Okay, and these are the students who are enrolled in my courses. He's another student of mine who is a fresher, got 3.5 lakh package. He's another student who had enrolled in construction manager mastery course. Okay, where he's working as an estimation engineer for 2.4 lakh. Is another student of mine who enrolled in construction manager mastery course, got a 8 lakh package from the college. He was doing MBA through from NICMAR. And you can see all the reviews given by the students. He's another student of mine who got a job abroad in his first interview. He's working in Saudi Arabia. He's another student, best courses till now. I went to various courses, but this is something next level thing. So these are the reviews that students have given on my Civil Brains app. He's another student of mine who got a job of 4 lakh salary as an estimation engineer. Okay, these are the students' reviews. You can see all this. He got a job in KC International through construction manager mastery course. Okay, you can go through all these, reviews and all. That's it. Do subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you back in the next lecture. Thank you.